All right, game one coming up between Maltimum and Cosmo here.
All right, so Maltimum's gonna go with the Queen Nine. Ever since he made the switch, he hasn't gone back to Sentinel at all. He seems a lot more comfortable in the Queen Nine, I guess.
I really do think Sentinel's a secondary that he's been practicing. And when he feels like he's going to go up into a matchup that's going to take all of his efforts, he goes back over to the Queen 9. That's what he really tries to win on. And Cosmo, hitting with a D-Light recovery, gets punched by that ground pound into down air. Maltimum bringing Cosmo into the orange, but another D-Light recovery. Cosmo doesn't go for those double D-Lights, but he still does go for the, well, 3 D-Light recoveries in a row. Gives him the damage lead. And that, geez, these recoveries. These are...
Yeah, recovery is the highest damaging move on Sword. So when you hit 4 of them, your opponent's going to be in red. And that's what Cosmo's counting on. He's already got Maltimum in close to kill percent. A side air won't quite kill yet, but a Sig will.
Ooh, nice neutral lights coming out too. Lands with a Nair, gets hit by that Nair from Cosmo as Maltimum's trying to get onto him. And that's a really risky downlight to go for unarmed, but it doesn't get punished. Side stick comes out, but Cosmo's just like, nope, side light. And ooh, the bomb toss. Doesn't get anything off of it with the sideline, and he actually dodges through the down. If Maltimum charged that just a little bit, he would have gotten it. These signatures are looking more and more risky, but Maltimum's not getting punished.
And he just throws out a third one, and it connects.
That's so odd. Cosmo was really afraid to do something about these things that Maltimum's throwing out. Like the downlights, the side sticks, they're not entirely safe, and at kill percent, you should be getting something. Cosmo makes up for it, gets the side air, but I think he loses the first stock in a fashion that he shouldn't have.
Maltimum with the spear. He's going to be looking to build up some damage, like he always does with the side light combo. But Cosmo dodges through it, he's having none of that. But Maltimum does find a side light Sair. Cosmo he's looking for falling Sairs and stuff, but they're not quite coming. Maltimum's just building a lot of damage. That neutral Sig's huge.
And going for that ground pound. Chase dodges in. Tries to do a little bit more. Another NSIG comes out to read a dodge in, but Cosmo not giving to him. Goes in for that D-Light recovery once again. Another Nair. Maltimum just ground pounding, and Cosmo dodges in place. It's like, alright, another D-Light recovery. Please give me those. As Maltimum is trying to find that NSIG kill, but now he's fishing so hard. This might be the stock. Cosmo might take the lead. That's another Nair. Wow. Maltimum making so many unsafe ground pounds into the center of the stage, and he just gets killed off the top.
Cosmo with some super solid sword play, just countering everything Maltimum tried to throw at him. And now, he went from having a disadvantage to a pretty good lead. We'll see if he can get anything out of it, or if he's just going to get evened up almost immediately. Maltimum trying to even it up quickly with those side sigs, but not quite working out this time.
Ooh, Maltimum dodges out of the way of that side light, tries to do a little bit more here with that recovery, and he does. That's a lot of damage, and Cosmo not being killed yet. Oh, every recovery that hits is so brutal for Maltimum. Another neutral light comes out. Cosmo just sidelights him out of that down sig. Oh gosh, what? Huh?
That finally finds the kill.
That was kind of... Maltimum just like angrily like signaturing in place until he finds a kill, and he does it. Gets him into the island, but only after being sent to orange. And a sidelight recovery. Cosmo crazy on these sword up heavies.
Yeah, I said that right at the beginning. This guy loves his sword recoveries. But Maltimum, with his spear combos, is not to be counted out just yet. Getting the damage equalized rather quickly already. Maltimum pushed into kill percent.
Ooh, nice
and
rest.
hits a ground pound.
That was a good sidelight as well. Maltimum looking like he's going to try to even this up. Cosmo goes for that falling Sair. Nair barely clips Cosmo there. Doesn't get the knockback hitbox of it. And Maltimum goes in for that side stick, but Cosmo misses the stop. Follow up the Sair connects. Cosmo dodges out of the way of that weapon toss. Maltimum tries to go for the NSIG, but he doesn't pivot it. Another NSIG comes out. Cosmo just punts him to the side. Has the hammer. Goes to the weapon toss. Down here from Maltimum. Another NSIG. Gosh, the both players so close to kill percent here as Maltimum tosses that spear aside. Tries to go in for the spear. Oh, the guitar in there. It connects. Wow, they're heavily damaged. Recovery comes out.
Both players are indeed heavily damaged.
Oh no.
For the downlight combo, but it doesn't connect. Maltimum looking for a recovery kill. Cosmo looking to punish Maltimum on his way back down.
Cosmo on the island here. Chase dodges down, gets the neutral. Like, wow, both players hitting each other with moves that just aren't going to kill but put more damage on. No, Maltimum puts out that side sink into a weapon toss into the bomb. What?
Wow. Cosmo goes for a really unsafe ground pound.
That was like the most... Cosmo's been really safe all set, and that ground pound put him right into the position to get hit by a recovery. Like, Maltimum didn't even angle that. He was just trying to recover.
Yeah, that was definitely a mistake by Cosmo, I feel like. That was pretty much the only option Maltimum had, was to go for that recovery. If Cosmo had just, like, delayed his ground pound by, you know, a quarter of a second, he would have hit it, but he ends up getting beat out by it, and that's a huge mistake that costs the entire game.
Yeah. And honestly, he could have just waited for the recovery and then hit him with like a Sair or something.
That too, yeah.
Like, or a recover. Like, there were so many more options that were a little bit safer there, but he just saw the opportunity, misplayed it, and lost the game for it. So Maltimum takes a very close game one, which could ultimately decide this best of three.
Yeah. So it looks like we're going to be heading over to Thunderguard for game 2. Maltimum probably going to stick with the character, and so is Cosmo. So we're going to see a complete rematch, but with Thunderguard instead. How do you think Thunderguard is going to affect the matchup, if at all?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Both these players don't really like to play with shenanigan zones. That's what I've noticed. They've never opted to go to something like King's Pass, Thunderguard, or anything of the like that doesn't have like a solid center stage, because they're so about center stage control, and seeing them on Thunderguard here is going to be a mix-up for both players. Maltimum winning it out, and he goes for a sidelight, tries to go for a little bit more. Nair comes out, weapon tosses from Cosmo, which I don't see him use a lot, actually, are kind of working out here. Now, holding onto the sword, tries to go in for something a little bit more. Sidelight comes out, recovery, Maltimum goes for that weapon toss to follow up on that combo, and he doesn't get it, but Cosmo's in the orange, and Maltimum's barely taking damage.
Yeah, Maltimum holding onto the stage. He has a huge advantage over Cosmo right now, and he's actually looking for a kill right now. Cosmo's barely been able to get any damage onto Maltimum, and Maltimum's already looking for kills. Tries to get those ground pounds, but they're just not hitting.
Neutral light comes out. It's a little bit of damage. Avoids that neutral sig. Sends Maltimum into the orange. Recovery comes out. Cosmo dodges out of the way of this. The recovery and down heavy from Maltimum here as he's holding onto the spear. Tries to go for a recovery kill once again, but he's just not letting it happen. But that ground pound will hit. That was like consecutive recoveries and ground pounds for like a good 30 seconds for Maltimum. And then finally works out.
Yeah, that's one of the things about Thunderguard is you can get away with very safe ground pounds by falling down into the shenanigan zone. And if the other person's not comfortable following you up to try to gimp you or anything, it can be very worth it.
And the sidelight comes out, reads that dodge in, and Cosmo now being brought almost into the orange on the second stock. Maltimum's looking like he's taking a huge favor off this counter pick. D-Light Sair hits. Maltimum going for that Nair, but Cosmo just Sairs him for it. Gets back on the stage. Gets a downer, barely clips the side of the stage there, and now holding onto the spears, trying to get in. Sidelight does not get punished. Maltimum gets hit by that weapon toss, but that's about it. And a D-Light Sair, oh, what an unsafe Sair coming up from Cosmo. The GCN sig! I bet Cosmo was expecting, I think he was expecting a recovery, and that pivoted N sig was a big deal for Maltimum.
Maltimum finds his guitars. Instantly goes in for a side sig, but it's gonna get punished for that. Might even die, but no, the weapon throws aren't enough. The side arrow will be though. Cosmo is in deep red, ready to die to anything, but Maltimum will not be getting that so easily as he gets hit by 2 recoveries in a row.
That, honestly, of all the players that I've watched play Sword, Cosmo's the first one that's intentionally put that double recovery read into his play. I don't see that very often. Sometimes I'll see like a dodge or a jump into Nair, but when he hits the recovery, he looks at what his opponent's going to do for a split second, and then he follows up with a second recovery, and that's a lot of damage. Ground pound comes out, but Maltimum was set in the orange because of that.
All right. It is a lot closer than it looked earlier. Maltimum he's going to try to build some more damage up with his sidelight combos. He fishes for those so consistently whenever the enemy's at white. But Cosmo, getting a massive amount of damage with Nair, is looking for a kill already.
Maltimum trying to get waiting. Ooh, nice Sair. Sidelight as well, just reads the fact that Cosmo wasn't going for anything, and then Nair will do it. That was a really unsafe recovery from Maltimum, but he brought Cosmo into orange. But this is either player's game. Like, Maltimum's really going to have to find something, and getting hit by a D-Light recovery right away is not the best start. Like, Cosmo could even up damage with just a few recoveries very quickly. Bomb just goes out of the way. Maltimum picks up the guitars, goes for a recovery. That leads Cosmo into another recovery. D-Light recovery once again. Cosmo picking up that hammer, tosses it aside, waiting for his next recovery attempt. I'm sure of it.
Both players so scared to come in, but Maltimum just throws out the hard side sig like he has been all day, and Cosmo actually
just dies.
Have the resources to get back.
Well,
he was so scared of the edge guard, he tried to go to the center.